Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Tom Spark Reviews, the only independently run VPN review channel here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be specifically talking about qBittorrent, how to do it from step 1 to step 20. We're going to be giving you a full master guide, whether you're a brand new user or a power user looking to pick up some extra tricks. No matter your level, this video is for you. I'm going to be putting timestamps in the description down below, and if you guys like this content, consider clicking on my affiliate links down in the description down below. I'll be putting my top recommended VPN there that gets you 4 extra months free, sometimes an Amazon gift card depending on whatever sale they're going on, and the best discount available as well. So guys, that's my recommendation for the description down below if you want to click on that link to help support the channel. This video is not sponsored by any VPNs. We only use affiliate links. That way it gives you the option to decide if you want to help support the channel or not. So I really appreciate your help down in the description down below. And also guys, all my VPN reviews are completely objective, which you could check out on vpntierlist.com, which is my rating system and everything like that. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. So let's get into the tutorial right now. So guys, why am I recommending qBittorrent? Why am I making a video about it? Well, that's because it's probably the best torrent app out there. If you guys didn't know, it's completely open source, it's free to use, it's easy to use, and it's a very consistently made application that hasn't really seen too many changes over the years. So if you get really good at it, you'll probably be good at it for the rest of your life. I myself have been using qBittorrent for 30 years, and I'm only 33, I think. So guys, of course you can find qBittorrent. I'll be putting a link for it in the description as well, so that way you could download it and stuff like that. It's just like downloading any other application, so I'm not really going to show that part. You just download it, install it, and then you'll be pretty much off to the races, and it's going to look exactly like this on my screen. So guys, first up, we're going to be going over the basic interface controls just on the actual application itself. So as you guys can see here, we have little icons, and I'm going to go over exactly what each one does. So this one right here is, it's kind of hard to get it to show exactly. Sometimes like the little tooltip, but basically what this is this little feature right here. You could add a link. So basically websites, torrent websites and stuff like that. Now just be clear guys, I'm not recommending any illegal torrenting or anything like that. This video is just for educational purposes, but torrent websites will give you a link. It's called a magnet link. And now this can be kind of tricky to track down sometimes, but basically on websites, you could find, if you kind of go through the process of clicking on that link and stuff like that, you'll find kind of like a link at the end of the page, and you could kind of like right click that and copy that link, and that's pretty much going to be what is called the magnet link. This is kind of like what connects you to download the torrent file, and then you could just kind of paste it right here, and you could even do multiple links to start downloading multiple things, so that's pretty cool. And then you just click download, and it's going to pretty much start downloading. So that is it. Also guys, you could also download a file as well. So that's pretty much going to make it so that you can just kind of, instead of just like copy pasting the link, if you downloaded a magnet file or whatever, you could just kind of upload that as well. Also, sorry I'm saying as well as much. I'll try to stop saying it as much. But this little thing right here is, well, you can't see my mouse. Hold on, let me fix that really quick. Well, I guess sometimes you can. Anyways, this little red icon up here at the top left is a little trash can icon. So if you could click on one of the things in this area, your torrent downloads, you could click on it and it will delete it. Now you got to be kind of careful here because one, you pretty much have like what is considered like the file downloading, but then the actual file itself can be sometimes separate. So usually when you click delete on that file, it will give you the option to delete the entire file, or just kind of delete the magnet link here that is downloading it. So you can delete like the process of downloading it versus the actual file. So that's something you do kind of want to keep in mind. This little green button here at the top is if you want to pause or kind of resume downloading. So just kind of think of it like resume downloading or pause the download. So sometimes if you're having issues with the torrent not downloading, sometimes kind of messing around with pausing and unpausing it can kind of resolve some issues. But that's kind of it for the core buttons here at the top. So on the side here, we have like the status panel, and you could kind of make this bigger or smaller if you want it. But this is kind of like filtering basic torrents. So if you're having a lot of torrents and stuff like that, if you're seeding things, you could kind of filter that. So usually the kind of concept behind torrenting is that when you're downloading something, it's called leeching. And when you're uploading or kind of sharing file, it's called seeding. So you could kind of filter them by here, and maybe you have some errors or something like that. You could just click on each one to kind of filter it. So it's just a handy little area. This kind of main area right here is where the torrents will kind of live and show you. It has different names, so the name of the torrent file, how big it is, the progress, how much it is left to download, seeds and peers. So if something has a lot of seeds, it's going to download quicker, and if it has really low number of seeds, sometimes you can have issues even downloading it. That's just the reality of P2P torrenting. Is basically everything you're downloading is coming from someone else, so it's peer-to-peer, which is P2P. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's one of the pitfalls of torrenting is that you do need to have people sharing the file, which is why it's kind of important if you want to seed things for other people to download. But the internet has gotten so big, it's not really an issue that often unless your file is super obscure. We have the down speed and up speed. So down speed is going to be how fast you're downloading something. Up speed is going to be how quickly you're sharing it. ETA is like how long it's going to be to take downloading. And we have the ratio to seeders and leechers. Category is basically if you want to categorize things, tags and availability. So that's kind of self-explanatory in terms of that right there. Now down here is actually we're going to see information about the torrent swarm. So if you guys didn't know, is that when you're using P2P traffic and networking, the way it works is through IP addresses. And now if you're not using a VPN, people can actually see your IP address in real time. And not only people, but basically people monitoring the torrent swarms. This is why you might get a letter in the mail or something like that if you accidentally download something you're not supposed to. So pretty much what people do, one of the main reasons people use VPNs is they just want to anonymize their IP address. So when you use a VPN, you connect to a remote server. This encrypts your traffic through a tunnel protocol called WireGuard. And when you connect to a VPN servers, they also assign you an anonymous shared IP address. So when you're connected to your VPN, you'll actually see that VPN IP address right here. So that's why people use VPNs if you didn't know, and it's going to encrypt your traffic, like I said. So my recommended one for this video is going to be down in the description down below. I'm going to be using Nord primarily for these kind of tutorials. Nord is pretty much the fastest VPN. It's the biggest one, and it works great for torrenting. So that is my recommendation, guys. So that's kind of the basics of the kind of general interface right here. There's really not really too much else you kind of need to mess with for like the basic area. The speed area, you could kind of see a graph of speeds. And now in the past, I've kind of used this area to kind of show for like various torrenting tests to see how quick it is and stuff like that. Way back in the day, I used to get really granular about how I was tracking the speeds and everything like that. Some VPNs start really quick, but kind of teeter off. But that's not something I do too much anymore since VPNs have gotten so fast overall. So a couple other little things with this area is the content tab. You can actually see kind of different files that you're downloading. You could set priority on one, and maybe if you're downloading multiple files within a torrent file. So you could just kind of like right click and set priority for those. Or if you don't want to download specific files, you can also kind of control that in this section here. So that's just a little trick. Now, if you guys want some keybinds, just little extra tips and tricks for this video. If you guys want some keybinds, so you could do Control O. I believe that does add a torrent file. So as you can see that here, we kind of did that. Control S resumes everything. Control P pauses everything. Alt O opens up the settings. So as you can see right here, so that's a nice little keybind. And hitting delete on your keyboard will actually delete a torrent. So that is pretty nice. So guys, you might be wondering how categories work. Well, categories is basically a way where you can add a category like movies, TV shows like that, and you can assign it to go to a specific place, which is just extra convenient, just to kind of organize your files. So let's say you start downloading something, you add a category to it, and basically that way it will go to the file you want. So guys, now we can kind of talk a little bit more about some of these kind of advanced little tricks you could do within qBittorrent. Now, some of the things you could do is this cool little search feature. Now, basically what this does is it lets you search torrent magnet links directly from the app. And there's quite a bit of customization you could do here. I'm not going to go into this like too much, but I kind of wanted to show you how to get started. So basically what you do is you just go to search features, search plugins, and then you could go to this little repository here on GitHub. Now this GitHub is going to pretty much, let me show you what it looks like. It's going to look just kind of like this. And now basically what this is, you could kind of click these links, put it in here, and then use these kind of like little add-ons to search these different kind of indexes. You could even configure it with something like Jacket, which is kind of like a way to search for magnet links and stuff like that. Basically, Jacket has a plugin. Once you install that plugin, you could kind of like use your configured jacket to search for torrents. Now, jacket basically all it does is a way to like search different torrent websites, and you can configure which ones to search and stuff like that. So there's quite a bit of customization here. If you do want to use this feature, it's a little bit more of a power feature. But if you're someone who's looking to do that, it's not too hard to set up. Of course, they have good instructions and everything here with qBittorrent's GitHub. And it just is a little bit like making it so you could kind of get into some of these things without having to leave qBittorrent, which is pretty cool. So if you guys want a dedicated video on how to set that up, let me know down in the comments down below. I can make a dedicated video on that if you want like an advanced way to use the search plugins. So yeah, make sure to let me know if you want a little bit more information on that. But since this is just more of a general overview video, I'm not going to go too deep into this exact feature right there, not just yet. Now guys, I'm going to briefly touch on another power feature. Now this is kind of a way to automate your downloads directly in qBittorrent, which is also pretty cool. So basically what you could do, also for the search feature, if you couldn't figure out how to enable it, you just go to view up here, type search engine and RSS reader. Basically you could go here, and this is basically a way to kind of like make it so there's some sort of automation approach when you have a specific torrent website. You could kind of make a different subscription, get a feed from that. And then from there, you could kind of make it so qBittorrent checks the feed like every 30 minutes. And then you could kind of make a rule saying, let's automatically download this show or something like that. And it must contain this show or this kind of quality. So this is something that definitely is going to be, as you can see here, something for power users if you want to really kind of automate some of your downloads and stuff like that. Again, if you want more information on how to do this, I can make a full video about it. These features might take like 10 minutes each to fully explain on the process for them. But it's definitely a pretty cool feature that you could take advantage of. Not too hard, just kind of give it a shot if you are someone who wants to kind of go into that approach. So that is another kind of cool little power feature qBittorrent offers. Now guys, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the application. We could talk about some of the options here that you guys will be seeing. I'm gonna have to add it back onto the screen. So there we go, we kind of have it overlaid. Now, if you go to the behavior section, this is kind of where you could kind of customize the theme, the language, the style, stuff like that. And as you can see here, that's probably why when I updated it, gave me a little bit more options here. You can also configure some of the just basic settings with the application. Like if when you're deleting a torrent, you want to confirm when deleting it, alternating row colors. You could configure what happens when you double click on something. If you want to start it when Windows starts up, so that's something you might want to disable or enable based on your use case. You could also have it minimized or hidden. This is basically just all the stuff that, also another cool feature is you can inhibit the sleep system on your computer when torrents are downloading. So if you don't want something to get paused, that's a cool feature. So all the behavior functions are kind of like what the app is like to use. So if you want to customize that, qBittorrent definitely gives you a lot of options, so definitely very helpful. Now downloads, one second guys. All right guys, so next thing you could look at downloads. So the download section is primarily going to be for where you want to put things, but there's also a lot of customization similar to behavior. So for example, you could do add to the top of queue, or you could make your downloads not start automatically. You can also delete your torrent files after the download is completed, pre-allocate disk space. You can also automatically add torrents from a watched folder or exclude specific file names. You can email a notification upon download completion, which is useful if you're not at your computer. So that is kind of an interesting little feature. The cool thing about the automatically add torrents folder, basically, let's say you have this folder being watched, and if you add torrents in here, it will automatically start downloading them. So that is kind of a cool little feature. Running external kind of program feature. Basically what this does is this is kind of more advanced, but basically you could trigger a script when a download finishes. So you could rename the file, move it around, add a notification to their phone. So that is kind of what you can kind of play around with there. Just a little bit more kind of power features. So there you go. That's the download section. So next up we have the connection tab. And now this tab is primarily more for like VPN and that kind of thing. And what you can do is actually configure proxy servers. And basically what this is you don't really need to use a VPN. But in my experience, almost all the VPNs nowadays, they don't really support proxies very well. Now, NordVPN claims to support proxies. Some of the older VPNs I used to recommend, like TorGuard, had pretty decent proxy support, but I'm not going to recommend anywhere near them nowadays because I'm pretty sure the management went crazy. Hasn't been updated for 2 or 3 years, so there you go. But yeah, some of the best VPNs nowadays, they don't really support proxies. They kind of just want you to use their VPNs. So this area, not really going to be that useful unless you have some kind of proxy provider, but it's not really something I would really mess with too much. With the speeds, you can kind of make sure that you're doing the unlimited upload and download. You can kind of customize this to based on what you want, but not really something to mess with too much. Also, BitTorrent area, again, kind of an area that if you want to customize it, you can, but it's an area where you don't really have too much customization needed. You could kind of customize how many active downloads you have and stuff like that, or if you want to kind of customize seeding, but not too much there. You could also customize the search UI like we talked about before. And if you want to enable the RSS feed feature, you could do it here. So that's something you also have to do, and enable auto downloading as well. So if you remember when we were talking about that RSS feature. Now the web UI is something that can be kind of cool. This is definitely something that can come in use for specific features. Basically, it lets you control qBittorrent like it's a web server. So you could maybe even kind of configure this remotely if you're using something like Tailscale or remote networking kind of features like that. So if you do want to use this, you'll just have to click the enable at the top part, and then that will let you set it to the default address, usually being port 880. So local host port 80. Usually the default password and combination is admin, and then default password is admin. So you'll probably want to change that. So that is how you kind of use the web UI version. Next up, advanced. This is probably one of the more important parts. If you want to bind your network interface, that's really kind of what this area is about. I would recommend binding it to your interface so that way your torrents don't start unless your VPN's on. So in my case, like I said, I'm using NordLynx. So I would bind it to the NordLynx network interface. And once you apply that, it's only going to download torrents when your Nord WireGuard protocol, or aka NordLynx, is configured. So a good little trick there. One of the more important things I'd say in the entirety of the settings. But overall, guys, that's a pretty good rundown of the entirety of qBittorrent. Let me know if this helped you down in the description down below. We ran over pretty much everything here, from various different features to the main interface. One other thing I did want to mention, guys, if you're having issues with qBittorrent, maybe you put in some proxy settings or you did something with it and you can't get torrents to start. The easiest way I found to just kind of reset it to default is do WinR combination on your keyboard, and then copy and paste app data qBittorrent like you see in the picture on the screen, and then delete the qBittorrent.ini files. So just kind of screenshot the thing on the screen here. It should help you resolve any issues to just kind of get it clean. If you guys want to help support the video, I really appreciate you checking out my VPN recommendation. It's completely unsponsored, it's just based on data. But if you do click on that link, it'll help support the channel and give you any available discounts. If you guys like this video, stay tuned for more torrenting content, and I'll see you again very soon.